Hi, I'm Tim from Tower Systems. I'm one of the account managers here. I've got Justin, one of the other account managers. Today, Justin's going to give us a run through on our point of sale program, but more specifically, the system we do for produce and rural stores. So yeah, look, if you want to jump straight into it, Justin, why don't you give us a run through on how it works?
Yeah, excellent. I'll take it from here.
Oh, and I'll jump in if there's anything I want to add. I'll chime in as well, but at the same time, I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, no worries. You can see my screen, all right?
Yeah, that's shared.
Cool. So this is essentially what we call the main dashboard or the home screen of our software. The beauty about this screen is it can be customized depending on either the functionality you use within the business, or B, via terminal as well. So typically in a produce and rural store, you might have, most of our clients will have like the retail store where they sell generally every product, and they might have a shed or something that just concentrate on, a few of the specific products. So really out there, they don't want to see, where they do the goods received, your favorite reports, all of that sort of stuff. They might want to really simplify the screen to just have the point of sale screen, maybe the end of day process and the customer screen as well. You can just easily click the cog up here and change those accordingly as well. And that customization does flow across into the point of sale as well. So again, I can click on the cog here. I use the example at the start of maybe a shed having just your hay and chaff. So you don't want to see anything else on this screen but those two products. And similarly, you can have all these different buttons here. So the lawn fertilizers, the poultry mixes, the potting mixes, all of this sort of stuff, you can set them up as hotkey buttons. So ideally, if the product has got a physical barcode on it, you can just scan the product and that will bring it straight up to the sales screen. These hotkeys are purely for things like your big bulky items or things that don't have physical barcodes on it. So all you do is just simply click these buttons here. That brings it straight up there, as you can see. Little things here, you can have what we call companion text. So any additional info that the salesperson maybe wants to pass on to the customer, or in this case, that item might come with a free item from the supplier, or whatever you want to do, you can pass on additional messages down the bottom there. Ending a sale is pretty simple. You've got your quick ended buttons down here. They're for just over-the-counter cash sales, obviously. The FPOS button here will push the amount directly to most FPOS PIN pads, obviously reducing human error and speeding up the transaction that tiny bit. Otherwise, if I click on end sale, that will obviously pop a receipt either to thermal A4, A5. Obviously, the system can email soft copies of the receipts to the customers as well, and they can be all automated, and SMS as well. You can have staff tracking, so either staff initials or staff codes. That way, any discrepancies or anything, you know exactly what staff member did it, or you can simply turn off that feature if you did want to. Now, this is generally what a thermal receipt looks like. Pretty standard. Obviously, your store logo up the top there. Up the top, your store details. The items actually on the sale there. I'll show you down the bottom of the receipt here is a form of customer loyalty that our software offers. Really popular in the produce and rural space. Obviously, there are inconsistencies throughout the year. This tool ideally it does two things. So it increases basket size, so you'll find customers are purchasing more each purchase, and it hopefully brings your customers back in sooner as well and gets them spending more money with you. The beauty about these vouchers is I didn't assign this sale to any particular customer, but it's a really good way of getting that customer data. So you'll see here I can format the receipt to have whatever information I want on there. It's saying, hey, if you sign up to our VIP club, you'll get W rewards next visit. And too many retailers these days, they generally discount at the point of sale, whereas these vouchers, it's sort of forcing the customer to come back and spend more with you before they can actually use the voucher. So really good tool to bring your customers back in sooner.
I was just going to jump in and say maybe not so much on a 47-cent voucher, but you can customize those rules. So you could set that to be a higher threshold, or even not print unless it's over a certain value.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you can call them whatever you want as well. I mean, that 47 cents, 47 cents they wouldn't get from other produce and rural stores. And also too, it is a way of enticing customers to pass over their email and mobile number. So they know straight away if that's doubled, they'll get bigger rewards over $1 voucher next time for that same sale. I've called it bonus bucks as well. And just the level of, how much you can customize it. You can obviously call that whatever you want, whether it's discount voucher, bonus bucks, whatever your store name, VIP club is, completely up to you. Now, that was just a quick over-the-counter cash sale. Obviously, in the produce and rural space, you've probably got a lot of account customers. Obviously, you can bring up those same particular items there. When I click on the customer sale here, this screen will appear. So just quickly, you can customize this screen. I can choose to sort these columns by whatever fields. And I can click on this button here that actually lets me show or hide certain information as well. So depending on what I want to see on this home screen, I can choose to show those fields there. Otherwise, I can just search here. I'll select myself. Now, a couple of things on here. So first of all, the company is nice and big and bold up the top there. But you'll see here down the bottom that this automated discount, because this particular customer is on a discount profile. So whether that's a percentage off retail or a percentage above cost, or they could be a trade customer as well. So it could work off trade pricing. You can set that up in the system and assign those profiles to particular customers. And that way we can take thinking away at the counter. As soon as you assign any particular sale to a particular customer, it will automate the discount accordingly. And that can be set at a department, category, or stock item level as well. Any questions, Tim?
Oh, look, I mean, the only thing I'd add to that is when you do finalise an account transaction, you've also got the option of specifying different addresses for that one customer. So if it is a delivery order, for example, for a farmer, they might have different addresses. So they might have the farmhouse, they might have a back paddock or something like that. You can actually have those set as different address locations for that one customer account. So you do have heaps of flexibility there. And just while we've got this sale up as well, when it comes to discounting, you can see there that one's automatically applied a discount being an account sale, but you can really easily override that. So if you didn't want to provide that discount on, say, the grain mix, or the entire sale, you can hit that and you can either remove the discount or you can set a new discount per product as well. So really, really flexible in the way that works.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously ending that sale will book that sale up to that particular customer. Obviously up the top here, it says invoice sale to Tower Systems or Justin Randall. That will work on a monthly account, and obviously the system will produce, statements, which I'll demonstrate in a second. But typically you might get some customers calling up and wanting quotations for things as well. What you can do is, let's just say you've brought up 20 items. You don't want to go into our quote and invoice facility and scan those 20 items in again. I can simply click on this suspend sale button, click on this send to quote and invoice management. And what that's going to do is that's going to send it to our quote and invoice facility within the software. And from here, I can actually print out either a quote, obviously an invoice, and I can do a picking slip for this particular sale as well. So if I am doing deliveries, to your point earlier, I can attach a picking slip so the customer knows exactly what was picked, if there's any discrepancies with what the customer ordered compared to what you supplied. And I've got some examples of what they can look like. So like most things in the software, they can be fully customized. So obviously, again, your store logo, your shop details. This one says quotation. You can add delivery notes here as well. So I've just got farm gate 2 is off Smith Road. Make sure you close the gate after you. If they want to turn that into an invoice, obviously you can turn it into an invoice that says tax invoice. And then these are the picking slips, which the system can produce, obviously, that I was talking about as well.
And the really good thing about the picking slip is if that is being used, for a delivery, even if it's going to someone that's not necessarily the person who runs that account in store, so the person that's paying the bill, at least it's giving them a list of the goods they're getting without calling out the pricing of it as well. So, they've been really popular.
Yeah, they have, yeah. And just before I go off the screen, obviously, If you know it's going to be a quote, say over the phone, firsthand, you can come into this facility and add it from here. So you can just simply add stock. If you are adding stock, you've got the ability to set your own price, or use specific pricing, whether it's normal pricing for that customer. If they are on a discount profile, use that particular pricing, or trade pricing, obviously, as well. And then you've got the ability to put in notes about the quote, or you can do individual notes about the individual stock items within that quote as well. And then you've got freight and so forth up the top there. Any questions before I move on?
Oh, look, so the only thing I'd add to that is, this screen is also somewhat customizable as well. So if you looked at that and thought, hey, there's a lot of columns there, maybe you don't need, serial numbers or order number or back order link and things like that, you can flag those fields and remove them. So again, just like, Justin was saying about some of the other screens, you can simplify it to, have it work for you and keep things nice and easy for everyone. Yeah.
And you'll find that through most things through retailer as well, whether it's the find stock screen, the customer screen, different screens throughout the software, you'll probably find that functionality. Another thing as well is additional information on receipts. So whether that's hazardous good information or care instructions or local knowledge that you want to pass on when you're selling specific items, you can set that up in the system to have that. When I'm selling this particular lawn fertilizer, you'll see when I in this sale here, in the body of or underneath the actual item, you'll see here that it's basically letting the customer know the best climate to apply this lawn fertilizer in. As I said, if you want to use this facility to pass on warranty information, care instructions, whatever it is, you can associate that specific information, and all the staff member has to do is scan that product, not even have to worry about, relaying this information onto the customer. It's all set within the software, and that will actually print out on the customer's receipt or invoice. Special customer orders is another big one as well. So ideally, obviously, customers coming in, they want something specific that you might not currently have in stock. First of all, you could do a stock inquiry. So I'll inquire about this stock item here. So obviously, you've got all the information about this particular item. So quantity sold today, when it was last sold, your current quantity on hand, how many is on pending or sent orders as well. And then you've got all the arrival history for that particular item. So you can see the price fluctuations, throughout time for that item. But obviously this says 0 here. So what you can do is you can actually order this item in for the customer simply by clicking this button down the bottom here. So it's going to ask for my customer details. So let's just say I'll do it for myself again. Can rack up my bill for myself. It's going to say, does the customer want to leave a deposit? Because it's me, I'm not going to ask for a deposit. But obviously, if you wanted the customer to leave a deposit, that would take you to the point of sale screen to transact that deposit. Otherwise, I'm just going to leave it at 0. But what that's done is a couple of things in the background. So let's just say this item arrives in stock in 2 weeks' time. We can flag it, because it's flagged as a special customer order, we can notify the customer either via text message or email that their order has just arrived in stock. Whoever's arriving the stock as well, it will pop up a little message saying, hey, this is an order for Mr. Justin Randall. And if you do product labels, it'll actually print a label with those customer details on it as well. So whoever's labeling the stock, knows to put it aside for that customer. So you could have 3 different people doing that whole process, and all of those 3 people are on the same page with that it's an order for Mr. Justin Randall. So gone are the days of flicking through, manual books and all that sort of stuff. It's all manageable within the software. If it's someone's job that manages the special orders as well, we've got a facility in here which basically you can manage. So you can search by certain statuses, whether they've been arrived or partially arrived or pending, and you can pull out reports as well to see, what are outstanding and so forth.
Yeah, and look, I'd just add to that, there's some really cool smarts behind it as well. So if it's a product that's in short supply or it's a new release of a particular product, if there's, say, 20 customers that have that on special order, it'll default to allocate it to the customers that ordered it first, and then the remaining ones, it'll put their orders on the following back order. So it's smart enough to manage that for you, but it still gives you control. So, if I looked at it and went, hey, Justin's got that product on order and so do I only get one in. Even if Justin put his on first, I could zero his out and I could supply it to myself. So you've got control over that, so you can pick and choose how it works depending on your customers.
Yeah, absolutely. And one more thing I'll add to that is whether you've had that stock item in stock before, it doesn't matter. So if it's a brand new item that you've never actually sold within the business, obviously, as long as you have like a supplier stock code, you can flag it as that. And that's the thing that will trigger when you're arriving that stock item, that it's a special order for that customer. And then at that time, you can populate all the other details about that item, like descriptions and prices and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Just a little thing as well. So selling things by unit of measure is another big one. So I've got the fencing per metre here. So whether you do the quantity before you click on the item or after, it doesn't matter. So I can do 5.24, let's say, metres of this particular fencing. And you'll see here it's got the quantity there, the price per metre, and then the total there as well. So any sort of fractional quantity, any unit of measure as well, whether it's cubic metres, litres, whatever it might be, we can set that up in the system to suit accordingly as well. And as I said, it doesn't have to be half or quarter fractional quantities. It can be any sort of fractional quantities, and the system is smart enough to figure that price out. Another one. Yeah.
Oh, no, you go.
Oh, well, do you have anything on that? Because I was going to go.
I was just going to say, and you can set that up to work on a price break mechanism as well. So if, say, 1 to 5 metres was a certain price, and then 5 to 10 metres, maybe it dropped by $1 a metre, you can chop it. You can kind of preset that functionality so it'll automatically change the price there for you. Yeah, exactly like you've got your products out there. Yeah.
So obviously this is a set price per unit. As you were explaining, if that was a unit of measure, that it would work in the same way. So it's basically telling me that, hey, these are $6.75 each, but if I buy between 4 and 100 of these, I get them at $5 each. So I can change that quantity to 4, and that will automate the discount down to the $5 each that I've set. And that can bring up another price break as well if you had further price breaks after that.
Yeah.
While we're on the catalogue management or the promotional management, we also do buy 10 get 1 free, or what we call multi-buy. So typically in a produce and rural / pet store, it might be the buy 10 dog food bags and get 1 free. Basically, we can have the system track that. So if you do offer something like that, you don't have to clip cardboard little cards or anything like that. What you can do is I've got the multi-buy set up here. So this is the advanced cat adult chicken. Nothing happens here, but as soon as I assign this sale to a customer, you'll see here that this customer's only got 9 more to go on this particular promotion. So every time they come in and buy one, I can repeat that item. So you'll see here that goes down. So that's 8 more to go, 7 more to go, 6 more to go. And if I end that sale, that same message actually gets printed out on the receipt. The customer knows exactly how many they've got to go before they get to redeem it. So it says here only 6 more to go. When it comes time to redeem, it will obviously discount at 100%. Doing it through the system, at least that way you can pull out the appropriate reports for you to send off to your supplier to, work out rebates or whatever agreement you've got with that supplier as well. And just while we're on the customer side of things, we've got the customer event facility. Now, what this does is basically it allows you to store transactional information about particular identities that customer has. So identities, they're basically their pets. So really handy for things like pet birthdays and worming dates. This particular customer here has got Fido and Barry. I'll go into the setup screen here. What you can do is you can set them up as specific events. So I've got worming reminders. I know that my customers every 3 months, they need a reminder to purchase more worming product for their pets. What you can do is you can actually set up all your stock items here that are associated with the flea and worming. So I can add this list here. Let's just say I want to search everything with the word flea in it, but obviously you can be more refined with specific departments, categories and suppliers. That's found 22 records there. So I can just add all those items from the list here. I'll list at the back here if I did want to. But basically what that's doing is every month I can come in here and send an email or SMS out to anyone that's due for their worming coming up. And you can customize the message here. So this is the SMS message, this is the email one. And it actually uses the customer's name, the identity of their pet as well. So it's really customized, suiting the actual customer, as much as it being a blanket email or SMS out to potentially thousands of customers at the same time. So these are the worming reminders, and then I got my pet birthdays as well. So this is just a simple message saying, hey, it's Barry's birthday. Here's 5% off toys and treats from whatever the store name is to celebrate. And as I said, you can customize that message as well. Anything to add around that?
No, look, I think you've covered that really thoroughly.
Excellent. You'll notice I haven't really gone off the point of sale as well. So that's where the customization at the front, or sorry, at the start of the meeting, comes in handy. Things like arriving stock, special orders, quoting and invoicing, I haven't really left the point of sale. So anything can sort of be controlled and accessed from the point of sale if I did want to. Obviously everything can be password protected as well. So you can really lock down the system if you don't want staff accessing some areas. But just before we go off the point of sale, a little thing like gift vouchers as well. So really simple to sell gift vouchers throughout the software. You do the printed ones and obviously the plastic credit card style ones as well. So the printed ones can be customized in the sense that you can write in a to and from and a message. So this might be to Tim from Justin. It's probably the only present you'll get from me.
Thanks.
And it could be Merry Christmas or Happy Birthday, whatever it is. And obviously, if that's a printed one throughout the software, that will print that message on it. And we do the hard style credit card style ones as well, which I don't actually have, but this is the cover for it. But obviously, they would all be barcoded. Do you have one there, Tim?
Yeah, I've got one of the cards here. So we've got a company we work with that'll do the design on the front. On the back, they put all the terms and conditions. There's a scratch panel to write the value and a barcode. And as Justin had, you've got that little sleeve to put the gift card into if you want as well. So they can produce those for you to integrate with the system. They're really popular, and they do those as either gift cards, or you can get them as loyalty cards as well. So a credit card style loyalty card, if you want to be able to scan that against a customer, and then they bring that in and scan it to track their transactions. Yeah.
I'll just finish off the customer account side of things. I forgot to show the what a statement can obviously look like. So these are all produced from within the software, and you can set up multiple different templates as well. So some customers might like their statement itemized, which is this one here. Other customers might just like the invoice numbers there. Instead of doing them all individually, you can set up templates, assign those templates to customers, and then when you do your statements, it just works off that particular template. But this is generally what a statement can look like. Obviously, your store details up the top there. This is an itemized one, so it's got all the items there that are on that particular invoice. And then it's got the remittance advice down the bottom here. So what's not due, what the customer owes you, and then the total balance over here with your banking details. All the invoices and statements are barcoded. So if they are bringing it in store and they want to pay something off, obviously you can just scan that at the point of sale screen and that will bring it straight up. Otherwise, you can search it through a number of ways throughout the software. So if you are in the point of sale screen, I can just click on the customer payment here. Again, choose your customer. And then I've got options here. So if they do want to pay their last statement, I can simply click on that button there, and that brings the amount of the last statement, which was $155.21. Their current balance is actually $988. If they want to pay just specific invoices, I can simply click on this button here as well, and that's going to list all my outstanding invoices for this particular customer. So again, the total balance is $988. If they want to pay, say, these three here, that amount will obviously change to suit what's owed on those particular invoices. Otherwise, I can just type in a random amount there, and that will work off the older invoices first. As I said, you can do that from multiple ways within the software. So if you are in the customer screen, you can simply pay them off through here as well. And just a couple of little things in here. If a customer comes in and says, hey, I didn't receive the last 3 invoices, I can simply click on this button here and choose the invoices that they didn't actually get and simply email or print them out for that particular customer, or I can do all of them, obviously, or I can view all their transactions as well. So if you are trying to look for a specific one, it will list all their transactions rather than, everyone else's as well.
Yeah, and actually, while you're in the customer screen as well, Justin, just hit the other tab. I think it's under on the left there. We also added a heap of options in here just recently off the back of some customer requests. There's now checkboxes against each customer individually to flag whether you want to disable printing for that customer or disable SMS. So you can do that on a customer basis. So if someone comes in and they say, hey, look, don't worry about printing anything for me because I'm happy with the email versions of my invoices and receipts and whatnot, you can flag that per customer down in the bottom left there.
Yep. And just on the statement, you'll notice the invoice's due date as well, which you can change within Retailer. So if a customer comes in and you do want to give them extended terms or an extra week to pay for that invoice, you can simply click on that invoice, click on edit invoice due date and simply choose the new date that you want to give the customer, and that date change will actually print on the statement as well.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that change was actually off the back of another produce store's request as well. They were, from memory, selling chemicals, and they were giving their customers an extra 3 months to pay for them, given the farming season. And yeah, so they would put the sale through and then go and change the due date on those products.
Yeah, right. Excellent. Anything about the point of sale screen, which do you think I've forgotten?
Look, I mean, the only thing I'd add on that is, I know you mentioned this at the start, but just how customizable it is. Like if, some businesses might see that and go, hey, there's too many buttons, or, I want those down the bottom, not on the side. We can chop and change all of that sort of stuff. And same with what options are there. Like you've got lay-bys and things like that. If it's a produce business that simply doesn't offer that functionality, you could remove that button. You can add shortcuts to any other area of the system or other facilities. So if they did want to do things like be able to put notes on transactions really easy, they could change that button to suit that functionality. So yeah, it's got a lot of flexibility to it.
Yeah, and just more to that on the setup side of things. You'll see here that little things like, as I said, when I assign that sale to that customer, it showed the company name. So little settings like that can easily be adjusted in here as well on the fly, even as going as far as, the text size and so forth. So if you do want the stock items within the sales screen to be a lot bigger, you can obviously make those bigger and everything else around it a lot less as well.
Yeah, and that's been really handy where customers might have, some might have 21-inch screens, others have 17, or then they might have a portable machine that's running on a tablet size screen.
Yeah,
and so yeah, you want to be able to customize all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Just another little thing as well is you can have images assist you in the point of sale screen as well. So when I sell a particular item, you can have images assist you. Now these might not be so much important for the point of sale side of things, but sort of takes me to our e-commerce integration, which is obviously proving really popular as well. So you'll see here, I'll bring up this item here, this particular collar. Now we offer an integration to Shopify, Magento and WooCommerce. So I'll just bring up this item here and show you how it works. Basically, this is one of our customers here, Springers Rural. We developed this website for them and obviously fully connected in with our point of sale software. Now this item here is the one I'm demonstrating. So all this information is essentially grabbed from our software. So obviously the description of the item, the images, the web price, and this extended description or the web description as well. So when I go back into Retailer, this is the description here, which we'll grab. Obviously the images, I've only got the one image in there, but you can have unlimited images. It's actually a variant as well. And by variant, we mean this comes in different colors and sizes. So obviously you can set them up as variants within the software, and that will allow that product to display correctly online as well. So you can see here, this is all the different colors this particular collar comes in. Instead of it being listed individually on the website and going back and forth, you can simply click on that one style of product and it can list all the colors and sizes you can actually get in that product as well. So obviously this is the blue, orange, pink and green that's available. And this is showing live quantity on hand as well. But essentially going back to the software, your images, your additional info. So this is the web description, which is down here. And then it's as simple as ticking web store items. So if that's ticked, it simply flows across to the website. If it's unticked, it obviously disappears from the website. And things like, you know, sales, when you get a sale online, they'll flow back into retailer. If you arrive an invoice with this collar on it in say a month's time and the price goes up from $17.50 to $19.50, within a couple of minutes that new price reflects online as well. So you don't have to manually go into the back end of your website and adjust the pricing as well. Anything to add about the e-commerce integration?
No, look, it really is as simple as that. You know, if they want to sell something online, it's just a matter of getting the data in there and flagging it as a web store item.
Yep.
I'm not sure whether you'll go through it in a bit, but the stock manager is another tool that is brilliant for getting your data ready for that e-commerce integration, because it lets you do bulk updates on pricing and bulk updates on descriptions. Even if you want to, let's say, change one particular keyword in a heap of descriptions of products, you can change that really easy. But look, I'm sorry, I'll hijack your presentation. I'll let you go through it.
That's right. No. Well, since you're talking about it, I'll obviously demonstrate it. So as Tim was explaining, this is the stock manager tool. Again, not only helpful for, in-store stuff, but certainly if you are getting products ready for online, really handy tool for that. So let's just say you're working with a supplier or you're doing a supplier or department or category at the one time. I'll go my Grenfell commodity supplier. So as soon as I click on search, that straight away found 25 records from this supplier. Obviously I can, the search can be more refined. Now what you can do is, as Tim explained, if you are using this tool to get ready for online, you can simply customize this screen to basically show all the web fields. So here I've got web price. Has that item got images? Is it a web store item? I can simply tick those fields there. So I might not want to know department or barcode or stock code, so I can choose to hide them if I want to. Otherwise, if you're doing it for other purposes, you can get rid of the web stuff and obviously get the information that you need on this home screen as well. But basically what I can do is, that's all got web pricing, which is fine. But obviously if all that was zero, what I could do is if I click on edit selected, come over to the pricing here, I want to update my web, and let's just say I want to put 5% on onto my current web price. I can go update prices, and at the click of a button, that's added 5% onto my web price. That's obviously if I want to differentiate it between my in-store price and web price. But if that was all $0, what you can do is you can just go edit selected, update the web price, and you can basically use your sell price and completely mirror that as well. So as soon as I go that now, it will change it back to whatever my retail price is, or my sell price, sorry. Things like adding words into descriptions is really handy as well. So obviously, as we know with online, people searching keywords into Google, those keywords are sort of what ranks your website. So the more of those keywords you can associate into your descriptions, the more your website is going to rank higher, hopefully. So what you can do is you can come over here. Let's just say all this was seeds or whatever it was. I can go apply pending modifications, and at the click of a button, that's added the word seeds to the start of all of those descriptions. So when people are searching seeds, or it might be Black Hawk dog food or whatever it might be, Kongs, you can put in those keywords in bulk, and you'll see at the click of a button that literally added the word to 25 of those records. And little things as well, you can change departments and categories. So if all of these were in the incorrect department, I can simply come over here and put them in the dog department. again, at the click of a button, that's moved all them from the fencing to the dog. I can come down here and tick web store items. So again, at the click of a button, straight away that will put 25 items online for you. So yeah, really handy tool to sort of bulk manipulate a bunch of stock at the same time.
Yeah.
While we're on here as well, you can send that list too. So if you want to report about that list, or if you have, update the pricing. So a lot of our customers, the supplier might send out an email to say, hey, all of our prices have gone up by 5%. So you can use that tool, which I demonstrated earlier, to up all those prices. And obviously, if you do up the prices, you might want to print labels for all those stock items. So I can send that list to Barcode Manager and simply, print some more labels for those items that are in that list. Or I can stock take that list as well, or create a report as well. The purchase ordering side of things. So a couple of ways to do orders. The most common way is using our order bus sales report. So a couple of ways to use this report. First of all, if you just want to do a replenishment order with, what's sold between a certain date range, I can choose my supplier here. I'll go Grenfell Commodities again. Here's my start date and end date. So when I last ordered to today, and I can simply click on process there. And that's going to give me a quick snapshot with exactly what's sold from that supplier within that certain date range. So you'll see here, I've got my quantity sold column, my current quantity on hand, how many I've got on pending orders and sent orders, and then my quantity to order. As Tim alluded to, you can simplify this screen as well. So if I don't need to know, what's in unit or packs or anything like that, I can simply hide that information. It is handy knowing, what's on pending and sent orders, so you can make a better business decision whether you, need those items or not. But if you just want to do a quick replenishment order, you can simply click this button down the bottom here. That's going to populate my quantity to order with exactly what I sold. And I can simply go create order, send that order directly off to the supplier if I want to. Before I send it off to the supplier, I can amend it. So I can add things to it. I can remove things off it. And in that order screen as well, you've got the ability to do a reordering report. So each stock item can have, mins and maxes set. So anything that's reached its minimum, we can automatically order enough to reach that ceiling quantity. There is one other way our customers use this tool as well, and that's for forecasting, particularly for businesses that are seasonal. So in this screen beforehand, what you can do is you can actually click on this show monthly breakdown, and that's going to give me the same data, but it's also going to give me data of when those items sold throughout the year. So what particular months those items sold. So if you are forecasting and doing orders for, say, spring next year or spring 2023, you can really pull out that data to see exactly what's sold in those months. And that way you can, order based on those quantities rather than just general, numbers that sold throughout the year. Anything to add from that, Tim?
No, look, I think you've covered everything I would have. The only other thing is, if you were looking at those months, there is quite a bit on that screen. You can actually turn those columns off still, like Justin said before, but now you've got all your months there as well. So if you did only want to look at December, January, February, you could, potentially turn all the other ones off. So again, a lot of flexibility in that screen. And you've got the option, like Justin said, to either just simply populate the quantity you sold in, you could populate that and then manipulate it. And once you do place that order, move this into being an order, you've still got the option to add extra stock. So if there's something on there that you think, hey, I haven't sold that, but I know I still need to order it, you can still put those products onto the order report after the fact as well.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. As Tim was saying, you can. I just use the use quantity sold button, but I can override that. So, I've got 51 of these on a pending order, so I might want 0 of those today. I can simply adjust those quantities to suit. If I click on individual items as well, I can actually see the age of a stock item. So, when it was first arrived, when it was last arrived, and when it was last sold as well. So again, it might say I've sold 10 of them, but it could have taken me 10 years to sell those items. So I can make better decisions based on the data down here. And then when I do hit create order, as Tim was saying, in the order screen here, I can simply add things to it or remove, some of the stock items off it. Once I'm happy with the order, I can send it simply to the supplier there. In the produce and rural space, we do have a direct integration with Air as well. So, bringing stock in from Air electronically is a massive time saver. And we do link with other suppliers as well in the space.
And just to tie that in with something you spoke about earlier as well, and don't worry about changing it on this one, but if you did have anything that was on special order for Grenfell Commodities, it would highlight it in that grid at the bottom in orange to show that that's a special order for a customer to be fulfilled. So that those special orders will tie in with this reordering process as well. Yeah, exactly like that. You can click on that product there, and that'll actually show you what customers have that on order as well. So you can really easily keep track of that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Bagging up and bagging down is another important facility as well. So we call it bagging up and bagging down, but basically it allows the customer to bring in bulk of a product. So let's just say this bird budgie mix, 20 kilo bag. Instead of selling it in 20 kilo bags, I might want to break that into, say, 10 2 kilo bags. So what you can do, you can use this facility to allow you to easily break that bag down. So what you do is you just add in, what that bag sort of making. So, in this case, it's making 10 2 kilo bird budgie mix bags. So when I go make item or undo item in this case, it's going to subtract it off that main quantity on hand up the top here and add it to the different component down here. And same if I'm making my own custom mixes. So I might have a component from this bag or a component from this bag that I make my own mix out of. I can have those two components listed there and have my custom mix there. So when I make those items, it subtracts it off the individual components and makes my own custom mix as well. And you've got the ability to, how you want to make those items, and you can always auto make that as well. So you don't have to physically come in here and make those bags yourself. Anything I haven't touched on that you thought I might?
In terms just overall functionality?
Yeah.
Look, we've touched on the customizable, point of sale and main screen. Fractional sales is certainly a big part of what we do. Catalogs, loyalty, multiple addresses, emailing invoices and quotes and whatnot. That's all there. When it comes to the labelling, the fact that when you receive, say, 5 of a product in, we'll print off 5 labels. Those labels, we also have the option of doing weatherproof and waterproof as well. So if they are putting it on, fencing or any materials that are outdoors, they can label that without the labels deteriorating too quickly outside or washing off in rain. Look, I think you've covered most of the stuff I normally do.
Yeah. I just saw the repairs here as well. So not all of our stores obviously have the use of this workshop facility, but a lot of our produce and rural stores, particularly around maybe mower repairs and so forth. Without going too much into it, we do have a separate video. So if you do want to see this in more depth, happy to send through the video. But basically what this facility allows you to do is track labour and stock used against a job. So first of all, you can obviously put in all your repair details over here and what type of items getting repaired. They've got all the additional info there when I select mower. What type of repairs getting carried out. So it might be a mower repair, and that will list all the things that was carried out on that particular service or repair. So when I click on finish, as I said, it allows you to put in images, so before and after images, just in case there was any cracks or anything. The customer can't say you came and did this to the mower. Obviously, you can list all the stock used against it. So if you go out and get a new filter or something like that, you can scan that in, and that automatically adds that price of the filter to the retail price of the repair. And as I said, you can track the labour and everything else, against that particular job. And the system will produce, job cards and then obviously invoices once it's completed.
Yeah. That'll SMS customers on completion as well, keep that full history in there. So if you are using it for warranty purposes for any products that, that you might sell and then service, it'll track all of that sort of stuff for you as well.
Yeah. And just lastly, the support side of things. So included in that ongoing monthly cost is obviously the 24/7 help desk. So all local, help desk. You've got access to unlimited one-on-one remote training as well. So long after the installation, you can book in as many one-on-one remote sessions to go through any part of the software. You also have access to our online knowledge base as well. So let's just say you want to start bringing in invoices electronically from Air. You can type in Air here. The first article is importing invoices from the Air group, and it literally gives you a step-by-step guide on how to do anything in the software. So fully accessible by you. As I said, you've got the 24/7 help desk there as well, and the unlimited one-on-one remote training.
Yeah, and look, I mean, I would just add, when it comes to the initial onboarding, so the initial setup and whatnot as well, we also assist with the data conversion process, bringing across products and customer information. The majority of the installs we're doing these days include a component of that. And yeah, we've had a lot coming across from other systems. So we've got a pretty solid process for bringing across that data.
Yep. Well, that was everything on my list. As I said, this is just a brief overview. Tim and I would be happy to go through anything more, specific that we haven't touched on today. Obviously, if we haven't already, we'd get to know a bit more about your business to make sure our software would be the right fit for you. Yeah. And as I said, if we haven't sort of touched on anything today that suits your business, happy to organise another one-on-one remote demonstration and go through, more specific things or even just touch on, things that we've demonstrated here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, feel free to either, call us via the head office, mobile, or email us at sales@towersystems.com.au, and we'll be more than happy to help.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, hopefully hear from you soon. Thanks, Tim.
No worries. Thanks, Justin. Cheers. Talk to you soon.